Stephen Thompson, Tyron Woodley.
Oh, part 2. Woodley, Thompson, part 2. I like the fight. If you guys go back and you look at their last fight, Thompson really won 3 rounds. And they had that 10-8 round. But overall, I'd say Thompson might have won the fight, but lost the war because still a draw. But there's a couple things that scare me about this. Do some research on this fight. Is when you think about who's like what changes can they make to win this fight. Thompson came out and said he put on 8 pounds of lean muscle, and he's never been so big, and now the weight cut's gonna be harder for him. So he's never fought at that. So to me, that means Thompson locked horns with Woodley and was like, "Holy fuck, this guy's strong." And so after the fight, he's like, "I just felt like he was way stronger." If I was his coach, I went, "All right, we need to work on speed. We need to work on your cardio, because if he takes you down, we need you to get back up, wear his big ass out." I wouldn't go, "Well, let's put on muscle, slow you down," so it gives him more of an advantage, because you're never going to be able to match that game. That's not in your genetics. It's not the way to go. So that's a little bit of a red flag for me, man. I don't dig it when I see that. That to me, that's whoever told him to do that. I just think they're wrong. I think you focus on what you do well and what you can improve on in your set of skills and your assets and speed, quickness, striking. Let's not get bigger, slower, stronger. Now you're leaning more towards Woodley's game. I think Woodley, for whatever reason, got into this striking match and was playing that game and almost had him finished, and it showed you the toughness of Wonderboy and the resilience of him, and it made me even a bigger fan. I already loved him. But Woodley was trying to entice him in with his back against the cage, that wasn't the greatest move, but Woodley can continue or can't do that, because now the rabbit's out of the hat. Now Wonderboy's expecting that, so he's gonna make. If you're going to play that game, now he's been training for that. So you're not surprising him now. Now it's nothing new. It's not like, "Oh, fuck, I better figure this out." And he's losing rounds, because really you did lose that fight 3-2, but there's a 10-8 round, so it gives us a draw. So obviously that plan didn't work. And like I said, the cat's out of the bag now, because he's expecting it, and now he can change his game plan accordingly. So for Woodley, he has to figure out how can he get Wonderboy onto the ground constantly, because he went away from his grappling. I understand it's scary, but he went completely away from it. And I think if Woodley can get him down, can wear him out, and again, put those rounds in the bank, and you got another decision. I don't know if he can do that. And this is another fight I go back and forth on. Last week, I told my buddy who bets on these all the time, Todd, I went, "I like Woodley, man." As I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking about it, Woodley, with that game plan, he kind of lost that fight, even though he was close to finishing it. I just don't know what improvements he's going to make. And this the other thing about Woodley. He's been crying how African American in the UFC don't get treated right, and he has all this anger and stuff like that. And how focused is he on this fight? And he's been asking for any fight but this fight. Remember, he wanted GSP. He wanted Bisping. He was talking shit to Conor. He was doing Nate Diaz. He was doing anything he can but this fight. Mm-hmm. So where's his mindset at for this?
Another good point.
I don't like that. Because as a draw, you go, "I can't have that. This is the fight. I'll deal with that other shit." I understand trying to get paid, but as an athlete, as a fighter, you need to be like, "I need this. I got to get that off my record. I got to show I'm better than that guy." Because there's a draw. It's up in the air, man. He still retained his belt, but still. As a fighter, you can't like that. So I just think Wonderboy has kind of that X factor where we don't know what he's going to do now. Before it was Woodley, like, "Damn, he's going to ride the cage," and Woodley goes, "Yeah, that was our game plan." It didn't work, but it was kind of that game plan. And Woodley plays this balancing act of, "God, where can I get where I don't get knocked the fuck out? How can I get in there?" And I just think Wonderboy has been in the game so long as a striker in that distance, he can make the changes in this amount of time for the rematch, and Woodley can't. We know what Woodley brings to the table. His game plan with Duke Rufus was back against the cage, bring Wonderboy into you, and then I thought he was going to shoot more, but he didn't. And I don't know what other way Woodley can fight. My suggestion, what I would do is So combos, but no more than 2-punch combos because that gives them time to react. You're constantly shooting for the legs. Even if you're missing, you get into the cage. Don't give them that distance. You either fucking booty tight on them or you're way out. But we're not going to play that game you did last time. And also that chasing game, Wonderboy, he downloaded that program. That game plan, he downloaded it. It's not going to work. He'll get knocked out if he does that same plan. He doesn't go past 2 rounds if he does that same plan. So now I'm taking Wonderboy. Last week I took Woodley. Yeah, I got Wonderboy via TKO.
Holy shit.
Say 3rd or 4th round.
You know, you're the one that okay, so you know, you say things, and as a fan, I kind of have this thing where I look at it and I think, boom, this is what's going to happen. I don't think 2 steps further.
Yeah.
But since you've been a fighter, you think of the 2 steps, 3 steps further, right?
Yeah.
So initially I thought Stephen Wonderboy Thompson gaining some more muscle. That sounds like a great idea.
Bad idea.
But then when you broke it down to where he's not focusing on what took him there and all that speed and the great striking, instead of focusing on that, he's worried about being overpowered by Woodley. So I had Woodley in the beginning, and now I have him even more.
Oh, really?
More now,
That's fair. That's fair. Because remember this: when you put on muscle, that muscle requires more oxygen. Which and Wonderboy usually has better cardio than Woodley because Woodley's so muscle bound. Yeah. Well, now you put on this lean muscle, and it requires more oxygen. Now the 5 rounds, that's gonna be more of a beast for you. And he's saying he has to cut more weight than he's ever cut. It's a red flag to me. But I just, again, I feel like in this fight, Wonderboy has been in the game so long and has the background where he can make the adjustments in the stand-up game to win this fight, and Woodley can't. Mm-hmm. And his game plan that he thought was going to work, that he basically still lost 3 rounds of the 5, didn't work. So what are you going to do now? Well, there's only one other thing you can do, and it's be a pressure fighter. Well, when you're a pressure fighter against Wonderboy, you get knocked the fuck out. Look at his record.
Yeah. And
so
it felt like he wasn't pulling the trigger in the last fight. So
he's very hesitant. So I think Woodley's going to be more aggressive. I think Wonderboy's going to be more aggressive. Woodley more aggressive means more wrestling, more pressure, more aggressiveness of going forward. Well, when you do that against Wonderboy, for him being more aggressive means letting his hands and kicks go more. As this guy's going forward, I'll take Wonderboy in that equation.
Yeah.
But again, I could be sold on why Woodley's going to win because he's grappling him and wearing him out. But I just when you look at who's making the adjustments, it's like the Patriots in the halftime. Atlanta didn't have a lot of adjustments to make. Patriots had so many adjustments to make. Their ceiling to win was so high, and they had the proper skill set and the team to make these adjustments to win the Super Bowl. Atlanta didn't have. They're like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like that was the best we got, man. Hopefully it's good enough. That's Woodley's the Falcons right now. Wonderboy's New England at halftime. And he's going through the talk going, let's do this. Last time we did this, let's do this. But he has the skills to do it. He's the Tom Brady of kickboxing. So he's the skills to go, we did this. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I fought a guy on my 71st fight in kickboxing who did a similar thing. I'll go back to that. Remember that kick we were doing? Let's do that for Woodley. Woodley's going, well, I got my overhand still. I got my grappling. I guess I could be more aggressive. What else are you going to do? But I hear you again. I hear you, man.
The adjustments to Matt Brown. Remember, I thought, he's just too late in the game to do it, but he adjusted freaking awesomely.
Hasn't lost since.
Yep. So, dude, that's a good one.
And what's the odds on this?
Let's check.
Ooh, Thompson minus 165. Dang, I took a favorite. So for my picks, I got Thompson, the favorite, Khabib, the favorite, which is crazy how much a favorite he is. Rashad, the favorite, but like I said, Dan Kelly, that's not a bad bet. And then Mark Hunt over him, I got the underdog and Mark Hunt.